Hello my loves and welcome back. Today I'm actually coming to you guys with a 1 week post-op update on the bariatric gastric sleeve. As some of you may know, I had the lap band and decided to opt for the sleeve revision. I've had the lap band for about 2 years and 8 months now. So as of January 27th or 29th, I would have been 3 years post-op with my lap band. Don't mind the hair and the makeup. I literally just threw on some powder foundation and some makeups just to film for you guys because I felt bad. I was supposed to film yesterday because it was technically my 1 week yesterday on Monday. So now my weigh-ins, instead of them being on Tuesdays, they're gonna be Mondays. And I'm sorry, I'm having a really tough time speaking today. I haven't said much today. Go figure. I'm still feeling kind of crummy again today. I have been having pain in the midsection of my back. I do not know why. I feel like it's bruised. I'm having nothing but like skeletal type pains. Like it's on right in the center of my bone. So if I keep moving around and taking a breath here and there, it's just because I'm very uncomfortable. It's so different. So anyway, thank you, Ginger, Jen. I've been talking to you guys nonstop on WhatsApp. Is it WhatsApp? Yeah, whatever. And to so many others that have been checking in on me and stuff like that. I love you guys. Thank you very much. I had my surgery last week, Monday, on the 26th of October. And I promised you guys numbers. I promised you guys an update. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. Or you can message me privately. I would love to get into it with you guys, especially those of you that are still banded and maybe considering the sleeve. I decided to go for the sleeve because I was no longer happy with my lap band. I did not feel that I was as successful as I should be with my band. And due to the fact that I just kept having difficulties while I'm eating, there was maybe 1, 2, or 3 good days tops out of the week that I would be okay as far as eating, and then there's most of the times of the week that I would just be stuck or miserable or can barely get some food in. So I would definitely reach for those slider foods or those easy to eat crumbly sugary sweets. Yeah, so where am I? So again, you guys know that these videos are always rambly. I'm probably like 10 minutes in already and I'm just now telling you that they're very rambly. So if you're new to my channel, welcome to the fuckery and the mess. And if you're not, then you already know how crazy I can be. But anyway, so I promised you guys numbers. Now, my highest weight... Okay. I just always told myself that I don't know if I was ever gonna... I don't know. Anyway. Okay, so my highest weight as of October of 2012, that was 3 years ago. Wow, I can't do math. Which was a few months before I had my surgery. It was when I really started the journey. So my highest weight was 311 pounds and 0.9. So I was 311.9. I am 5'4", and that's way too fucking big for a girl my height. I felt gross. I feel like I look gross. Just to not my standard, not to anyone's standards, just to my own. I was very unhappy with the way I looked. I've always been used to maintaining at a certain weight, and then maybe a few years down the line, I'll gain a little bit more, but then I'll be maintaining that weight. So I can't even fathom how heavy I probably was before I truly weighed myself. The reason why I had weighed myself at the time was because I was dead on considering the lap band. And I think let me correct myself. I don't think it was October of 2012. I think it was July of 2012 because that's when I started my journey and I was talking to the girls about it from work and stuff like that. That's a lot to weigh as a female. That's a 5'4". Granted, I can still run circles against any of the skinny girls I work with. Not all of them, just some of them, But I could still keep up with work, and I still do. But obviously, I'm putting in more pressure, and I'm overworking my body. But it's like, I never realized I was that fat. for lack of better words, because that's morbidly obese. That is disgusting. That is a disappointment. That number will never leave the back of my mind. It's pretty much burned in there. 311.9. It was ugly a number. It still is. Okay, so anyway, so I cut out soda completely when I first started my journey, dropped 21 pounds, and actually kept it off just because I dropped the caffeinated drinks and anything carbonated. Not that I didn't have them once in a blue, but I literally was having one at least a day or every other day. And working nights, that was my one caffeine fix, or so I told myself. I did fantastic. I felt better with that 20 pounds off. You do not understand, hunty, how good it feels on those joints. I mean, unless, you've lost the weight. So anyway, I was 311 when I started the journey. I got down to 283, about there. So I got down to 283, and when I had my lap band surgery, I was 272.8 or something like that. So I had lost about another, 15, 16 pounds-ish. Now, the lowest I got on the lap band was 267.2. That number I will never forget because I plateaued in that number. I think I got down really low one day to 262. And I literally never counted that again because the next week I was back to 267. So I don't know if that was a false read, whatever. So we're gonna go with 267.2 was my lowest on the lap band. That was the plateau moment of my life. I literally weighed 267.2 for like 4 months. I don't want to weigh that. My goal was 200 pounds. My goal is still 200 pounds. And I don't want to get emotional about it and stuff like that. I really don't because I'm so done with it. But yeah, so when I started this journey again, let's just fast forward. When I started this journey again back in April, again, this was after talking to my doctor, after almost choking a bitch. Like, this was after I'm done. I've done enough research. I think I was mentally ready. My husband was also considering it just because of his own health issues, for his own issues. It had nothing to do with me. Our decisions were totally separate. It just worked out the way it did now. So anyway, okay. So when I started this journey, I was back to 287. So I had gained 20 pounds from last year being at my sweet spot. The year before, it was just like, I don't know. I don't know. I was not good with it. And even though I barely ate and I tried to eat, like, I would post pictures of food and stuff like that, but I don't eat all that. I literally barely eat any of that because I couldn't get more than 2 bites in before I was miserable. So, as far as making the right food choices, I was fine until I got stuck. And then I was in starvation mode and I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna eat this piece of pizza, or I'm gonna eat that cookie because she is looking good. It has nothing to do with a food addiction or anything like that. For me, it was just more like what's convenient, what I know is gonna taste good, and what I know is gonna go down. That's what it was for me, and that's a big problem. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go ahead and say that on the date that I'm looking at my phone here, sorry guys, not to be rude, but I'm gonna go ahead and say on the date that I started my liquid diet, I was 282.2 with clothes on. I was 280 even when I weighed myself that morning. So that was when I started my liquid diet. I actually opted to do 2 extra days because my husband had a 14-day and his surgery is 2 days later than mine. So I did 2 days earlier. So I did a 12-day liquid diet. That was so fucking fun. That was the worst. I was so miserable. The first day I worked, you couldn't look at me. Medusa had nothing on me my first 2 days. And the day of my surgery, I actually weighed in at 266.6. So on my pre-op liquid diet, I lost 15.6 pounds. That was great because I pretty much lost more than a pound a day. More than a pound a day, which was amazing. I haven't seen that number on the scale ever. I was always at 267.2, I swear to God. And yesterday, as of a week, I weighed 259.8. So I've lost about a pound a day pretty much. I lost almost 7 pounds, 6.8 pounds to be exact. And excuse me, I attributed not that big of a loss to not being able to drink as much. I was having a very difficult time after surgery, like bad. Like it was the moment I got out of surgery, they started giving me Dilaudid, which I don't tolerate well at all. And I know for a fact I don't, because I know it's just too strong for moi. And it was fine if it was for, you know, post-op, but then they were still pushing it IV when I was just saying I'm in pain and I'm mumbling it out. They would just push another set of a Dilaudid, and I do not like it. I just don't like feeling that way. So the first 2 days, it was just not the best. Drinking after having a lap band and going to such an invasive surgery was totally fucking crazy to me. It was totally warped. Oh, it was just, I knew I had to be careful, but even knowing that, it was so surreal to me. Like, it was just like, you can feel it. This is me. I can feel it going down. I can feel it almost funnel because there's air in that pocket. There's no food in there. There's nothing but air and gases just building up. And I just feel it. And it just like built up, and it was like, oh. And then of course I was, you know, they had a tube down your throat and all that good shit. So you are already rough around the edges. Very surreal, very different. Definitely something you need to get used to. Definitely something I need to get used to now. Even now, as I took a sip earlier, I felt the pressure. I'm tolerating liquids well. I'm no longer nauseous like I was like the first day. And I think the second day, they still kept giving me stuff for nausea just in case I would get it. And I would take it just because I was taking narcotics and I didn't want to get nauseous from it. But anyway. So yeah, that was pretty much my journey. Like, I barely remember it. And then all I remember was that I needed to leave because my husband's coming up from surgery and I need to be there. I need to be okay. So like literally within 24 hours, I was fine. I was not fine. And then by the end of the day of the 24 hours, I was like, let's go. Evie, you better take a walk. You better do this. You better do that. I don't care if you're in pain. I don't care if your back hurts. I don't care if you're bleeding out your asshole. You are just going to do it. That's the mentality. I wasn't bleeding out my asshole. Don't believe that. This journey is going to be a really tough one. I am hangry right now. Like, for the last maybe 4 days, have been utterly hungry. There's not a shake that'll suffice. There's not anything. And like, I know it's mind over matter, and I've like tried to drink fluids and trying to take my liquids in is so hard on this surgery. I thought on the lap band it was hard. This is nothing. It is so hard on this surgery to get your fluid intake in. Like, this is probably my 3rd cup and I need like 5 more. But I have drank, like, I actually drank a protein shake today. I actually had one of these. This is the Shamrock Farms Rocking Refuel Protein Milk Beverage. I bought this for like $1.59. Like, it was cheap. Compared to Muscle Milk, it's almost $4, $5. This has 12 grams of carbs, 20 grams of protein, and it's 150 calories in total. I did not know the grocery store sold anything like this. And it tastes just like chocolate milk. Now this stuff rocks. They give this to you in the hospital and you're like, this is so tasty. It is not as dense as water. I could not, and I still can't tolerate water well. And I don't know if there's anybody out there that's sleeved or that has the gastric bypass that has issues with water, because water seems a lot more denser than when you add something to it and mix it in there. For some reason, it just makes it tolerable. So been loving the Crystal Light lemon iced tea flavor. That's it. That's the only flavor I've been tolerating. The lemonade one is okay. Hold on. So I have cheated on my liquid diet because technically I'm on phase 1, which is liquids and milks, and I can have protein shakes. I have tried eggs twice. The second time I tried it, I wasn't paying attention because the UPS man was coming with my makeup, and I took an extra bite that I shouldn't have at all. Not thinking, and swallowed. And yeah, I paid for it because I've had the worst stomachache ever. It was too heavy. It was just too heavy and too much. So yeah. Today I actually made turkey chili for my kiddo and some homemade mozzarella sticks, and that's why I have powder everywhere. So I made everything for her homemade, and I had a bite of each. Tolerated it well. Super. And of course, I'm so cautious in chewing that it's like I spend more time chewing than eating, which I'm okay with because I'm so scared of messing up. But it's like come to the point that I cannot fathom looking at another protein shake if I'm not gonna have any substance throughout the day. Like it's like, fine, then I'll go on starvation mode, won't eat or drink anything because I can't have food. So right now I'm testing the waters to see what my body can tolerate. It's not gonna be an everyday thing because I know better. I shouldn't do it, but I do what I want, when I want, how I want it. So that's just how I roll. Some of you guys want to see my incisions. I don't know why. It's kind of creepy, but I'm okay with showing you guys. So disclaimer, folks, in the next 10 seconds, I will be showing my incisions. So either you want to fast forward or just stop watching the video now. If you're grossed out by fat, cellulite, obeseness, or any kind of incisions, don't watch, okay? Fair warning, I'm telling you right now. Okay, so I'm gonna have to step back here. Don't mind the wideness. This shirt's actually really loose on me, but I have 6 incisions in total. I have one very similar to the one I had before. I think he just reopened it. The glue has come out of it. And then I have one right there, which is actually painful today for some reason. So I have one there, one there. The glue is actually flaking off everywhere. I have some bruising, which I did not have before. I have one there, and I have a little one there, which was, it flaked off this morning in the shower, but it's bruised as well, and these are tender. The smaller ones seem to be tender. I have bruising all in my arms from heparin shots. I don't bruise that easily normally. Okay, now back to something a little bit more pleasant, hopefully. So yeah, those were my incisions. They did not hurt. Go figure. What hurt was my insides. And now they're tender, but there's bruising everywhere. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never been so bruised at anything, really. Like I barely bruise for most things. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it for my really lengthy update video. I hope you guys stay tuned for more videos. So please hit that subscribe button. It's free and you get to see this. Please share with your friends if you know someone that's interested in the VSG or someone that's had the gastric bypass or lap band and they just like watching these kind of videos. Please feel free to share. I appreciate it very much. So guys, I hope you guys like this video. Please thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. As always, I'll see you guys in my next video. Toodaloo.